Hello, good morning and welcome to TechTard, the hardware review show brought to you by the Department TechTard. Now, the one I want to show you today came in a couple of days ago and I've been playing with it non-stop is the VooPoo Drag 2. Now, I have got to state for the record, any views or opinions you hear during this review are mine and mine alone. I've not been paid to do this review. I did not pay for the product. It was sent to me for review purposes. I'm going to start off by going through like the outer sleeve information and the box, and then we'll get into the main gibbons of what's inside. So here we have it. Yes, the VooPoo Drag 2. Gotta admit, quite surprised the number 2 didn't feature on that, but there we go. On this side, we've got all their social media interactions, so you can follow them for more information, and of course, message them with any problems or questions. We've got the QR code on this side, and also we have all what's inside on the back. What comes in the box is a Drag 2, the new U-Force 2 tank. Now this is the non-TPD compliant version that I'm reviewing here, so it comes with a 5ml glass. Of course, if we get the 2ml, if you get the TPD compliant one, you'll get a 2ml tank. Gotta love the TPD and the TRPR. The most stupidest rule for no reason whatsoever, but there we go. We have to make do with what we've got at the moment until we possibly change it. We've got your bag of spares. These do come with spare glass. The 5ml one comes with a spare 3.5ml glass. Obviously, the TPD one will come with a spare 2ml glass. USB cable. Then all the manuals and instruction booklets as well. Well, a warning on here, must be of legal age to vape in your country. Correct. Not intended for pregnant or breastfeeding women or anyone at risk of heart disease, depression or asthma. Do not intentionally abuse, drop or place in water. Keep out the reach of children and animals. E-liquid containing nicotine provided separately. Yes. Yes. If we don't know that by now, mind you, tell that to America. A coil is a nicotine device. No, it's not a tobacco device. It's not a nicotine or tobacco device. It's a coil. But there we go. Anyway, then you open it up and we have the box. I do like their boxes. They may look plain and simple, but they do feel of good quality. And we've got all the CEs, FCs, and all that on the back. And this is recyclable. Yes, this product is recyclable, but take it to a proper WE centre to recycle it. Don't just lob it in your bin, especially if you lob it in your bin with batteries, because that tends to give us a little bit of trouble at the recycling centre. And of course, Vic's favourite at the very end, but it has got the 18 plus on here. I'd have rather like to see it on the outer sleeve as well. Little thing, not much, but there we go. But what do you get inside? Well, here we go. Here's the unveiling. When you first open it, you'll get your device, which I should just take out here. And here it is. Here is the new Drag 2. As you can see, if you're a fan of the original one, they have smoothed this off a lot. It's not quite so pocket damaging and uncomfortable on the hand. It has been rounded off quite nicely. It is also smaller by a little bit than the original Drag, but I'll get onto that after I've finished all the box contents. I say then, take this off. In here you'll get a little envelope. Now in the envelope will be your instructions for the tank, instructions for the mod. I mean, there's your mod instructions. There's the tank instructions. You'll get your warranty card. And also, powerful chip, born for fever, gene card. Always handy. Not the gene card bit, that's just there. But anyway, also in there you will find the new G-Force 2 tank. One thing I do like about the G-Force 2 tank, just from actually getting out of the box, was the matchy drip tip. It matches, so you get this in kit form. Your tank will come with a matchy drip tip. So I kind of think it's a nice little touch. What you'll also get is a spare coil. You'll get, I found in here, it'll come with like just a normal coil in here. But it will also come with the N3. Now the N3 is their new triple mesh coil, and like I say, I will get onto that because I haven't actually tried that yet, so that this will be a first on this review to see what that is actually like. Also, USB charging and also firmware software updating cable. Also in here, I've got to state that you can just about to see it, you do get the spare O-rings as well, which is always a given. And like I said, because this is the non-TPD compliant, a spare 3.5mm glass. And of course, the little silicone gel thing, which always tells you not to eat, which kind of gives you the impression that someone in the past has eaten one of these. Darwin Award? Anyway, but that's what you get in the box. So it's a nice package of goods that you get in the kit. Right, the actual mod itself. I do like their resins. I do like the soft feel of them. I will admit this does feel quite a soft mod. It feels a nice smooth, soft mod. Obviously, got the back door here. Now you open this from the side. Just get a fingernail. It comes off quite easily. I will come to this in a minute. I've got a slight about this. So, and then inside, you got your it shows you everywhere, plus, minus, minus, plus. If you do happen to put the batteries in by mistake the wrong way, the mod will not power up. The reverse protection will kick in on that you've made a cock up, and it won't kick in. So that's always good. I've tried that a couple of times. Works fine. So we'll put a couple of batteries in here. So also we've got batteries in there. Don't worry about the different colours in there. The green one has been rewrapped. And so we've got two magnets here which hold the door in place. Now, kind of what I don't. One of the things I'm not a fan of on here, right? So now, door just fits on, and it does fit on really easy. It comes off quite easy as well. But once that's on, what I've found is you can just hear that there's a little bit of movement in the bottom. It's fine at the top. Actually, the top's got a little wiggle on it. Bottom's got a bigger wiggle on it, and when you're holding it in your hand, don't you can hear that? You can feel the door slightly moving in your hand. Not a fan of that, if I'm going to be honest. I preferred either a better placement of the magnets to not allow that movement, but that is kind of annoying, to be quite honest. I'm slightly OCD, so it's just, you can just feel it shift in your hand, which kind of gives me the impression that if this is dropped, that's pinging off straight away really quickly, potentially followed by batteries. Anyway, because of the slight curvature of the door, also when opened, the batteries are sitting a bit proud on there as well. I know that this has also been done because they've made things smaller, but I'd rather the batteries been a little bit more recessed in and held in. It's a niggle. It's a little niggle, but it's a niggle. And then here we have the screen. Now, as usual, it's going to be your traditional 5 clicks on. Still doesn't come with a drag 2 there either. And there we have the screen. So you've got both your battery indicators there. You've got what ohms. When you fire, it will display what voltage it is. At the bottom, you've got how many seconds your last puff was. And of course, on that right-hand side, on his side here, is the wattage that you're performing with. That's all good and well. I mean, in terms of size, compared to the drag, from top to bottom, it is now 88.3 millimeters. The original drag was 90. So they've shaved off 1.7 millimeters from the actual height. The width, they've shaved off 3 millimeters. The first one was 54. This one is now 51. So it's a little bit more pocket friendly. And of course, like I said, all these corners have been rounded off. There's still little edges, but it's not anything like the original drag, which could be a bit uncomfortable in the hand, however good the mod was. this top bit has been widened. We'll get onto a problem with this in a minute, but this top bit is widened. It originally was 24mm across, not counting the 510 connector, but across here was 24mm. This is now 26.5mm. So you don't get, you could put something a little bit bigger on this one without the overhang, and the natural curvage of that does suit a lot of 26.5s, to be fair. It does, it looks nice, apart from one thing. And this is what I'll just show you with my dripper. Right, so like I'm saying, across here, 26.5 at the wide point there. The 510 ring here is 24mm. And as you can just see, is raised. See on that? It is a raised 510 connector on there, which leads to a problem which really does bug my OCD. Right, when that's on, everything I put on there now looks like I haven't put my top cap on properly because of that raised 510. That, in my opinion, I'd rather they hadn't have tried to slim that down by the 1.7mm they did. I'd rather they kept that, and that was flush on the device. Because even when you put the tank on as well, you look at that and you do generally think you haven't put your top cap on properly on everything you put on this. That if that was flush and that rested on that, and that would be lovely. But at the moment, my OCD does go. You want to check that again? Right, have you put a cap on? Have you put? I know. Oh, bugs the arse out of me. It's a little thing. It in no way inhibits anything that the mod's supposed to do. Just on a looks thing, I think it looks a little toss, which is a shame because the rest of the mod I like. I do like the design, I do like the feel it had. Not so that clicky slight movement of the back door is a tad annoying as well, but that yeah, OCD mad. But when you put your new one on, obviously that'll come up with this new coil. So then you just press the positive for a new coil, and you're away to go. Then we're normal. As I say, 5 clicks on, 5 clicks off, as I've already shown. Traditional up and down for this. You will not get points. You won't get that 0.1, 0.2, 0.3 on this one. This just goes up in solid watts. Be fair, it's all you need. It's only if you're being a bit picky or do you actually need the points anyway. But then it's far as quick. It's always been a selling point with the Gene chip and everything. But it does fire. You press that button, it's firing. It does make going through menus and turning off a bit annoying because as you're clicking 3 times and you hear it fire twice, or you're trying to click it off 5 times and you hear it fire 3 or 4 times, it's a bit annoying. I've got no problem with a millisecond of a delay. Yeah. But it fires fine. In terms of wattage and all this lot, if you have got a coil between 0.05, it will fire down to 0.05 to 0.1. The device will limit you to 137 watts. It's a protection thing, it's a sensible thing, especially about strain it puts on batteries and stuff. It is a safety feature. It will limit you to 137 watts from a 0.05 to a 0.1. Anything over a 0.1, this device will fire up to 177 watts. So it's 20 watts improvement and increase on what the original drag was. I did give them, it does tie in with the release of their Mojo. Their Mojo was an eternal battery, which was basically the power of an 18650 inside it. It limited itself to 88 watts, which was fine. So to go 2 battery on this, yeah, 88 times 2, 176. So 177 is fine. This does low power a little bit. No, I mean, that was 65 watts. I've got up to 100. Instant fire again. Does its job. But you do notice an increase in power. Just have another little drip here. Let's say that was 132. We've got up to 177. Absolutely fine. It handles it at all wattage levels. And that's rather nice juice. Anyway. Absolutely fine. It's hitting that 177 lovely. So you are a rather cloudy bugger. That will do you fine. I'm going to go back down to 65 one more. Happy with it. So, moving on. Menus. There's rather a lot of menus with this. I mean, this is obviously, it's got temp control and it's got the new fit system in here. This is the Gene Fit chip. Now, the Gene Fit chip has been protected against accidental liquid spillages, dust, and burnouts. It's especially sealed, so if you do, like what you get with some of them, if you actually get a bit go down your 510, basically it goes on the board and your board is knackered. Hello, Wesmec. This has all been sealed in, so there should officially be no way that liquid or dust can get onto your board, thus causing a burnout, which is a really good idea. It's an idea that more and more people should be using. It really is. But onto the menus. I've got lots of little things that the buttons down here, like, as I say. Right, now if you hold the fire button plus the minus together, it will flip your screen round. So this device can be used right-handed or left-handed. Simple like that. If you press the fire button and the plus, it locks the device. And you just press it again to unlock. Get that back down to the normal way. Now if you press the plus and the minus together, it will get you onto a memory. Oh, stupid device. No, it's not a stupid device. Right, now if you click onto that one, that will get you onto wattages. If I just go around the right way, that one there is your memory slots where you can program what you want. If you want a warm up, if you want that to be a certain wattage and all this lot, that's all there for the watts mode. Next to that, we've got the serial number. And all you got to do is click on that for it to come up, and then click again to get back to it. You get one more, and that is the version number. Obviously, this has not been updated or upgraded yet, so that's version 1. Then press the fire button to get back to the menu. Long press the fire button, gets you back to the device. Now, the other thing is, I meant to show you there, actually. So go on the menu. Right. Now I've got what is selected there. Now if I click this 4 times, I've gone wrong there. Hey, good start. Click to 3, click to 3, click to 3. No, better was. What I meant to do here, because I'm a twat. Right, now if you click this button 3 times, it gets you onto the fit system. Now the fit system I'll go more into after when I get onto the tank, because that's more, it is aimed for sub-owned tank usage, so I'll get onto that after this. But if you click 3 times again from this menu, you get onto coil selection. So you've got SS, stainless steel, titanium, nickel, that's all there, and you just click around there to get onto the one you want. Click once, and you're now in temp mode. Temp mode will go 315 Celsius. Now if you click that again, it will not go round. But if you can go all the way down, to that. Now, if you go down to the bottom of Celsius and then press down again, it will roll into Fahrenheit, and you can do it again. For some reason, it only seems to work downwards on the roll. I would have liked to have seen, like, maybe if I got to the top temperature of Fahrenheit, it then rolled into Celsius, but it only works going down. It doesn't work going up. Little quirk, don't know why, but there we have it. But when you're on temp like this, if you press this 4 times now, you can adjust the wattage. But, that's what I meant to do. Here we go. I'll try this again now because I've got that wrong. If you click it 3 times, you go on to fit, click it 3 times again, you go on to pick your core. So say I'll pick stainless steel, hit 1 here. Now that gets you on to temp control. Now, if you hold down the plus and the minus, that will bring you into the temp control menus, which is there. It's the same as the other one though. You've got temp control. Do you want it in Fahrenheit or centigrade? Do you want to lock the ohms of the resistance of your coil? And then you've got your 5 memory ones. So you can, if you've got different tanks and all this, like, you can set up 5 different preset programs that you're happy with vaping with that tank. Also, when you get onto the memory, because I was on temp, there's a little thing here, just above here, that will show you in temp control. If you then click it on a memory one 3 times, it will go into wattage mode. So you can switch between your 2 programs there as well. Now to get back, that was it. Now when you're on the memory mode, you can get into the temperature curve. Now when you've got your M up there, you're ready to fire, actually just click it 4 times, will get you into that. And then by pushing the up and down, you can adjust how you want it, whether you want a quick warm up, press up like that, or press down. That'll start decreasing. And then if you press fire button, it'll move on to the next one. You know all that until you get to. Then when you're happy with everything, just long press the fire button, and you'll be back to that. But now I'm going to go back to menu by pressing both the up and the down. Oh, the temp mode. Press it 3 times, and then I'm back on wattage. It's a little bit complicated to get into to start off with. The instructions are not, they're good, but they're not necessarily the greatest. But once you've been playing around for a while, you can flick through them. To be fair, I don't know of anyone who's that bothered with temp control. It was all bells and whistles when it first came out, and people tried it, and in the end, people just went, well, to be fair, I might as well just adjust the wattage. It's something I was glad to see with Dean's, the Vaping Bikers, Squonker, that he knocked temp control completely out of it. It's not widely used as far as I'm concerned. Everyone I've spoke to has never gone, do you know what, I bought that tank because of the temp control. Alright, it's another option for us to have, but I don't really know anyone who's really gone, oh my god, I must buy that device. The temp control is brilliant. We'll admit the temp control on this works really, really well. I did try it yesterday. Unfortunately, I haven't got a temp control coil with me today, which is bad planning on my behalf, and I do apologise. But it works. It works as well as it's worked on all that other mods. The temp control is always spot on. I do like VooPoo for that fact. But getting on to the last part now, which is the tank. Now, in the kit form, this will come with this, the new U-Force 2 tank with, like I say, it fits in kit form, matchy drip tip. It's a simple enough device to fill up. You just get the U-Force pointing towards you, and then push forwards, and there we have it. That's as easy as that. And once you're filled, push it back into place. You hear a little click. You hear a little click when it opens, and a little click when it goes back. And that's it. Fill and go. Coils are really, really easy to swap out on this as well. All you got to do, what I found was we get the airflow open, and then just untwist. Generally find to do it upside down is better. In case there is an ickle bit of juice there. And there we have it. Now, I mean, this is just basically one of their normal coils. On all glass, on milliliters, sized glass, apart from the TPD 2mm, all the coils, all 9 of their coils now, will fit the U-Force 2. I think it's, if I remember rightly, the P2 is the only one that will not fit the TPD compliant tank, the 2mm tank. So that's something to be just familiar yourselves with when you're buying coils. The P2 will not fit the 2mm TPD compliant tank. But if you've ordered from anywhere outside of the EU and you get the decent sized glass, all 9 of the VooPoo coils will fit this device, which is great. It's good. We're going to get it on now. So changing the coils is easy, as I say. You just undo that bottom bit, unscrew the coil, screw in the new one, screw on the bottom again. Make sure it's just finger tight, don't over tight, don't, just make sure it's finger tight. Remember to prime your coils. If that's a new coil you're putting in there, prime them first. Fill your tank up, give it a little bit, and then go from there. Actually, what I'm going to do is, because this is the normal one, I'm going to first go on the new triple mesh one. As I say, easy peasy. Just unscrew the coil. The old coil out. Comes out really, really easily. Get your new one. Regret not opening it beforehand, before you did the video. Use brute force and it comes out. So you'll get 3 spare O-rings with this as well. Right, then so take your coil, screw it in. Make sure that's just finger tight. Get your tank. Screw that in. Making sure again it's just finger tight. I'll attach that to the mod. As soon, look, the screen was off. As soon as that new tank goes on, new coil. It's asking straight away. I'm going to click yes, and it's telling me now this is rated at a 0.2 ohm coil that's in it in the triple mesh. That's come up with 0.21, so it's well within the boundaries. I'm going to fill it up. What do I fill it up? I'm going to fill it up with some Grinny Heaps nut custard because I'm slightly addicted. So, like I say, push it to move. Actually, what I'm going to do, because I'm an idiot and I really should pay attention a bit more, is prime my coil. I've just told everyone to prime their coils and I'm just about to do this not primed. What a bellend. There we go. I normally just put an ickle bit on top and on the outside of the cotton, just to give it a little start off. Just to show you inside here, you can just see the triple mesh coils in there. There's a decent amount of cotton in there as well. Screw that back on. And screw it on. There we go. You will find on all the coils it has got a minimum fill mark on it, which is kind of handy. Always, mind you, then begs the question, if you drop below the minimum fill, if you're emptying your tank out, you're going to drop below that at some point. There we go. So I've just filled it up. Just click that back into place. I'll give that a couple of minutes and it's ready to go. Just to tell you a couple of other things about the mod itself. It's got 8. I've made some notes and stuff all over this place. It's got 8 protections actually included within the actual board. It's got battery reverse. It's got a switch timeout. Obviously, if you hold the fire button down for 10 seconds, it will then cut out the mod. Over temperature, if it gets too hot, the internals get too hot, it will cut out. If the output is that if there's an overcurrent from that, if it's given out too much, it will cut out. There's an over discharge as well. Short circuit protection. And this bottom one, it supports balanced charge with different brand batteries. Now, personally, I wouldn't recommend that anyway. I'd always use 2 from the same company. Normally married. And those 2 are the ones you use for that mod, so they discharge and charge at the same rate. They're saying you can do it through, obviously, the USB port here charging. Yes, you can do it through there, but I personally would say it's always better to do that through an external charger where possible. Obviously, there's going to be some instances where you can't do that, but I'd keep that to a minimum. That's just what I'd say on that. Right, I'm going to give it a quick suck up. I think we're ready to go. I'm going to give this a go. All right, new coil, yes. Right, so this is 70 watts. I mean, the recommended for this is, they're saying between 65 and 100 watts is the recommended area for this. And then they're recommending 75 to 85 watts. So I'll go for the recommended. I'll go for 75 to start off with. And of course, adjust the airflow at the bottom would be good. I've got to admit, I'm generally not much of a sub-ohm tank fan, but the flavour from this is absolutely brilliant. I love this juice on a dripper. I have tried it in various other sub-tanks and gone a bit, nah. Some of it's due to the tank, some of it's due to the coils, and some of it is due to the distance it has to travel. So obviously the further it has to travel up, the cooler the vape gets. So that's generally why you have to put more power in the bottom part, so it's actually still warm once it gets to your gob. But the flavour on this is good. And we'll go up to 100 watts. Actually, the flavour on this is bloody good. And as you can see, the cloud production is superb. Bit noisy when you're doing it, but you're putting in that much air, it's going to be noisy. There we go, 100 watts. Wow. Absolutely ridiculous cloudage there, but still retaining the flavour, which is really good. Wow, literally cannot fucking see in it, and I've only had like about 4 or 5 puffs. But it keeps the flavour. It's going to be really, really good. It's going to be one of those ones that eventually, at some point, mind you, you will cry when your juice goes. Oh. Anyway, really impressed with the flavour. Really impressed with the cloudage. But let's have a look at the fit chip now. We press it 3 times. We press the fire button 3 times to get onto the fit chip. Now, there's 3 settings for this. Number 1 is for maximising your battery use. Number 2 is for flavour. And number 3 is for clouding the room out. So I'm going to press these buttons here again. I'm going to cycle through to number 1. So this is for battery use, and let's see what difference it actually does. This Gene Fit chip only works for sub-tanks, for sub-ohm tanks. It's designed for that. It's not designed for RDAs, RTAs, RDTAs. It's not designed for them. It's just designed for sub-ohm tanks. They do say, obviously, that it works better with the U-Force tanks. Well, you would do. It's your own tank, but it will work with other sub-tanks as well. So I'm on 1, which is supposed to be for maximum battery. And I mean, considering I was on like 100, I mean, what you will notice is it will not tell you what it's firing at on this now. It will just tell you you're doing fit one. You're on there. You know that you got the memory ones that you can preset yourself. This is their memory ones, more or less. But it's reading the coil, tank condition. It's reading all those things and giving what it thinks it should be the optimum output on that for your battery, for your tank, for your coil, and all this lot. To be fair, that's pretty weak. It's probably doing the bare minimum of the coil. I'm going to turn the airflow down because it's far too airy for what it's given out. It is coming through pretty weak on the maximum, and this is a new battery, so I would have thought. I'm going to go on to number 2, which is for flavour. To be fair, I can't get the flavour one. I think the flavour one's it has got slightly more power on that one. There is more power. You can notice there's more power going through. But everyone's flavour and perception of flavour is different. And also different juices and different flavourings react at different temperatures and different power levels. So that one, I think, most flavoursome is, yeah, that's a bit of a call on that one. It's alright, it's more power than number 1. Number 1 is obviously going to be the lowest power it can power the tank you have on there to maximise battery. Second one is a little bit more power in it, but flavour is subjective, and also, as I say, juices react different juices react differently to different power levels and temperature levels. So I'll go on to number 3, which is the piss the wife off by flooding the room with vapour setting. And as you can see, or not see as the case may be, the power goes up again. Alright, but I've got a juice that demands high power at the moment, so the cloudy setting is actually now giving me the more flavour than the flavour setting. Hence why that's a bit... It kind of reminds... The thing is, you've got no control over it and you don't know what it's firing at. I kind of would like to have seen that maybe come up on the screen, just a little thing, but... But overall, you can tell you've got a distinct distinction between settings 1, 2, and 3 on there. Overall, I like it. I like it. I do like it. I've always liked the gene chip and all their little variations of it that they've got coming out. They're always superb. I like the fact that it's protected against liquid, dust, and accidental burnout, so the board will be protected if something else does go tits up. Tank is a lovely flavour. It really is a lovely flavour. I've not been a fan of mesh up to this point. On some of the mesh tanks, I find it makes sweet juices really sweet, and I'm like, ugh. I feel like Jamie Oliver should be starting a fucking petition against me every time I vape using a mesh coil. This one, however, has got it right. The flavour is absolutely spot on. Little niggles, like I'm saying, that race 510, you'd see on that. It does piss me off because it's only 24mm across that. So I put a 26.5mm tank on, which this is at the base is 26.5mm. I mean, you see it that way, it fits the top lovely, but you've got that 24 raised 510 there that once again makes it look like I haven't put my top cap on properly, and there isn't a fucking top cap on this. That is a niggle. Other niggle. They more centralised. I mean, mainly because they smoothed everything off a bit more, so they didn't have the surface across here. They've moved the 510 over, but they haven't quite got it centre, so it just looks a bit off. I'd have rather they actually managed to properly centre that, and I'd have been a happy camper. But it's another. Like I say, it's just OCD with me, but it just looks a bit off because it's not centred. And of course that slight looseness in the battery door, that kind of tells me that if that takes a semi-reasonable drop, I'm going to have batteries flying out everywhere, the door's going to fly off. I just wish that that back door was just a tad more secure. But apart from that, yeah, I'm liking it. I'm liking it. It's a nice device. It feels nice in the hand. I mean, it's lighter than the original drag. I did actually have the doodahs on that. Here we are. The original drag without batteries was 203 grams. It's now, with the drag 2, 158 grams without batteries. So they've shaved off 45 grams there. I do like the fact that if you go below 0.1 ohms on your coil, it will limit you to 137. To be fair, if it's 0.05 to 1, you're more than likely looking at a temp coil anyway, and you don't really need that much power going through it. 80, 90, yeah, you could be looking at, but you won't be looking at any more than that, to be fair. So that's fair enough. I like the fire. I do like. Well, I like the fire, and I don't like the fire. I like the fact that when I'm actually vaping, I'm hitting as soon as I'm pressing that button, which is great. I don't like it then when I'm now trying to turn off the actual device, and it's like, it's like, oh, I'm not actually. It's yeah, it's not. It's burning the crap on the coil every. Well, actually, that wasn't too bad. I've just got 4 in there, and it didn't. I don't like the fact, mind you, when you go on to fit, but then to get out of fit, you've got to press it 3 times, and then it goes on to coil. Then you choose the coil, so then it goes into temp mode, and then you've got to press it 3 times to get back to watts. That's a bit of a pain in the arse. That might need a little bit more of a shortcut there. But apart from that, it looks nice. All right, a little off in some areas. A little off. I think that's probably my best description for this. I mean, that's annoying because you can just feel it in your hand. The overhang from the Raise 510 is annoying, and the fact that the 510, they didn't quite centre that, and so it does look a bit off. It could have done with going a little bit more that way, right there. It's not off by a lot. It's probably off like about 3mm, but it's enough to pee me off. But the device itself works really, really well, so I can recommend it that way. Anyway, that brings me to the end of this review. Thank you for sitting through this long one I've done here. It's unusual for me. I'm normally long, but I'm not normally turning into filth and pescado. If you have enjoyed what you've watched today, please like, share, comment, and of course subscribe to the channel. And I shall be back soon with some more reviews. Take care, everybody.